I'm not sure. Sweetie, what is your condition?
How should I know? I'm retarded. Duh!
I'll just leave that blank for now.
Hey guys, my name is Bando, and this is Brooks of Bando, and I wanted to address this video that's playing in the background. I'm not going to play the audio for it, I'm just going to leave it running. I might just throw some pictures in, I don't know, I don't want to steal this guy's thunder. So this is Tabletop Tactics, a bigger channel than mine by like 185 times. And I don't want people to think I'm clout chasing it, it's just I wanted to talk about this video. So in this video, the guys at Tabletop Tactics go over why do people hate Games Workshop. Now in this video, he actually does a really good job of discussing the history of Games Workshop as a company. He discusses about how it was founded, he discusses the guys who got on with it, how, where, when, and all the history of the games they released, and a lot of other bits. If that was this video, this would be a really good video, and I'd quite happily stick a like on there, and I'd share it around, because it's a good video. However, the problem is that at the end of this video, he basically, he goes through all the different parts of the game, how we went from classic Warhammer through to all the different editions of Warhammer, the specialist games came along, and how the release of Warhammer 40k in 87 was, the beginning of something absolutely massive. And he doesn't really, I mean, he covers here like a couple of bits with that he doesn't like, about how they got rid of the presenters in the videos for the painting, which I agree with. I think that was a dumb idea. How they stripped out units from armies, like the old legacy stuff was removed. I agree with that as well. How the movement away from converting and kit bashing has been quite a big thing for Games Workshop, and I agree with that as well. However, at no point does he actually address the issue. At no point does he actually address why do people hate Games Workshop. He doesn't address the fact that we've had price rises constantly. We've had boxes slashed in half with the number of models, and the prices remained the same. We've had games where they've never had FAQs, despite the community repeatedly reporting issues with the games. He doesn't cover the fact that we've had aggressive market manipulation through Games Workshop's like brute force litigation against competitors, and how that they've also done the same thing to their own suppliers, how they hamstrung their own retailers, saying, hey, you are not allowed as a third-party retailer of my product to have an online basket. If you wish people to order our products, they must email you a list of the items they want. No, it doesn't touch that at all. It doesn't touch the egregious pricing disparity between the UK and Australia. He doesn't talk about the fact that Games Workshop has spent millions of pounds on their IT infrastructure and has repeatedly made it worse. He doesn't cover the fact that the website has gone from, bad to worse. He doesn't cover the fact that Games Workshop used to have a forum and used to actually communicate with people, and then they deleted it overnight because they didn't like that people were actually having conversations. He doesn't cover the fact that until like 6 weeks ago, comments were automatically disabled on every single social media that they could do it on. He doesn't cover the fact that Games Workshop has repeatedly, not once, not twice, but every single time, lied to us about the reason for material changes. Oh, we're moving from lead to white metal to save you money. No, you're not. Oh, we're going to save you money by moving from white metal to plastic. No, we're not. Oh, we're moving to resin so we can keep detail and save you money. No, you're not. At no point have we saved any money, because with every single change of material has come a price hike. Every single time. Why is Games Workshop hated? Games Workshop is hated because they have repeatedly demonstrated detestable behaviour from a business. They are not our friends. We do not owe Games Workshop shit. Okay? We are in a business relationship with Games Workshop. I give them money, they provide me a product and or service. Now the problem is that the product and or service is often subpar to the competition, which is why so many of us are now moving away from Games Workshop, why people are moving to different games, why players are writing their own rules. Why is it that you have people like the Legio Panoptica team going out and about to drop a 300-page document as fan-made rules? 300 pages of fan-made rules. That is 3 times the size of the most recent 30k rulebook. You know, the new Exemplary Battles rulebook, which is like 110 pages or something stupid like that. Games Workshop has repeatedly earned the bile it gets from its community. It is a company, and it is not a company that deserves our respect, because respect must be earned. I love Games Workshop products. I love Space Marines. Space Marines are my jam. Space Marines are everything I care about. Honestly, I could never deal with any other science fiction property in my entire life and just play with Space Marine stuff. I would look at Space Marines. I'd draw Space Marines. I'd listen to books about Space Marines. I'd read books about Space Marines. I'd watch TV shows about Space Marines. The Horus Heresy is the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life. I love it. But Games Workshop sucks. So I'm looking at Space Marines from other people. People like Logi K, Wilf, or Red Warden Miniatures. I'm looking at different games, like one-page rules. I'm looking at, you know, different creators, like Sodaz, I think it is. You know, Games Workshop is in a position to utterly dominate. And I don't mean like they are at the moment. I mean utterly dominate. There is no reason that Warhammer Plus should not be pulling in an absolute fortune. Like a statistically, seriously important fortune. Like licensees should be looking at Warhammer Plus and going, oh man, I need to get involved in this. But they're not, because they suck. You had the greatest fan animation of all time with Astartes. You had what is quite possibly the greatest fan film of all time, in its attention to detail, its authenticity to the source material. And you went and bought the guy out and trashed it. And you went, oh, we can do this better. You've run book series into the ground over greed by saying, hey, we can just keep writing and keep writing and keep extending it. Now, we don't need 3 parts for the end and the death. That could have been a single book. It could be a big book. You can J.K. Rowling us and give us a 400-page book. No one is going to complain about picking up a book that is heavy enough to beat a child to death with, alright? People will read it, as long as it's good. What they don't want is to have to fight scalpers for 3 books. Because that's another thing Games Workshop's not doing. They're not dealing with the scalping problem. Why? Because it looks good to them. If people are snapping up their products to resell, they're selling their products at rapid numbers. No one cares. Games Workshop is a terrible company now because they are driven by pure profit. Shareholder dividends. Share price. That's all they care about. The guys in this video who sat in their shepherd's bush, flat. Where is it? These guys, they would not be able to recognise the company if they looked at it. If those 3 from 1979 were pulled into 2023, they wouldn't recognise the company that they built. And this is ridiculous. Because we have so much passion for this hobby. So much passion. I see it every day. I see Instagram posts of people trying harder and harder to improve their painting. I see guys posting pictures of the models they've worked on, which they're shit. I'm sorry, brutally honest. You know, when some people start, they are shit. But that's because they don't know. They're young. They haven't learnt to paint. But what I see them posting another one and it's better, and another one and it's better. And within a year or two, the people I'm following, I'm seeing them putting out consistently better and better and better work. Because they're passionate. Yeah. I see guys writing rules. I see guys doing artwork. I see guys building YouTube careers where they do, you know, battle reports and, you know, lore videos, and they write their own stuff, and it just shows that there is such a level of passion and skill and dedication there. And then you look at Games Workshop's products and there are spelling mistakes. There are pictures in the wrong titles. There are books being released that should have been free products. And you think, where is the passion? Where is the skill? Because back in my day, when you opened White Dwarf and you saw a model painted by someone like Mike McVeigh, it was a god with a paintbrush. And it was something to reach for. It was something to look up to and go, one day I am going to paint as well as Mike McVeigh. And sure, lots of us don't make it. I haven't made it. I've definitely not made it. But nowadays, it's corporate, it's safe, it's look at my hands, these are the people I'm painting with. It's no longer do we get these pictures of these guys and stupid videos, and you know, you used to see pictures of the studio of the guys acting so happy around each other and so enthusiastic. And now it's just articles where it's like, this is Steve from the studio, and it just reads like names have been changed to protect the innocent. You know, you got one or two guys who you know because they've managed to keep a following on somewhere like Instagram, like it's not Dolph Lundgren. I don't know why all I could think of is Dolph Lundgren. It's Darren Latham. Like Darren Latham, who you know had quite a big following before he started at Games Workshop. And I get it. You don't want people using your company to build a following and then jumping ship. You know, you don't want people like Duncan. You know, no offense to Duncan. Duncan was one of the most passionate people about Games Workshop I've ever seen. He's one of the nicest hobby people I've ever met. And I just can't see that Games Workshop deserves love. I think they do deserve hate. Maybe not hate. Does anyone deserve hate? No, I don't think anyone really deserves hate. As a Christian, I can't really endorse hate. But I cannot love something. And I think there's a lot of us who don't love Games Workshop. We tolerate Games Workshop. And this video isn't really about that. It is, but it isn't. It's this tabletop tactics, this type of player who is almost in an abusive relationship with Games Workshop. They just continue to accept it and go, no, everything's great. Oh, I don't want to be a miserable person. I'm not a hater. What is it going to take for you to become a hater? What is it going to take for you to realise that, oh, maybe I'm in an abusive relationship? Maybe Games Workshop doesn't give a damn about me. Oh, I'm just a tournament player, and actually Games Workshop would be quite happy if I didn't exist and I just, you know, consume. Because that's all they want. They want us to shut up, buy the product, and get excited for the next product. That's all they want. If Games Workshop could shut all their stores, never look us in the eyes ever again, and just fill boxes and ship models out, just like any business in the world, they'd be happy. Does Games Workshop deserve hate? No. Pity. Remorse. You know, distrust. I can't trust Games Workshop, I'll tell you that for nothing. If Games Workshop was to come out and going, hey, we're moving all our models over to Silocast, for example, as another material to move to save you guys money, I wouldn't believe it. I'd sit there and go, cool, how much more is this box of intercessors going to cost me? £45? Because that's something, you know, we need to sort of talk about. A box of intercessors is £35. A box of berserkers is £40. It's going to be, by 2025, there is a distinct possibility that a basic troop choice for your army could cost you £50. £50 for a basic troop choice. That's going to kick when someone like the Drakari get redone. You know, when we get a redo of the Dark Eldar, and suddenly their box sets go from costing £20 to costing £50 for your Hellions and your jet bikes and all that. Have you gained £30 worth of value from them? No. No, you haven't. Because Games Workshop is arbitrarily increasing the prices, which is why we hate them. Because they're being greedy. That's all it is. And videos like this, where you don't address the problem, you just paper over it with a nice history lesson. And again, I have to stress, the history lesson part of this video is really, really good. You know, actually, everyone, please go and watch Tabletop Tactics' latest video, Games Workshop, The History and the Hate. Because the first, like, 40%, 50% of this video is fantastic. It's really on point. It's, you know, everyone should know the history of Games Workshop. Steve Jackson looks like John Lennon, and he is staring into my soul, and I hate it. But it just glosses over it. Tournament players should expect the best quality rules from Games Workshop. The best quality rules. Regular updates, balance reports, battle reports that tell you how an army operates. Tournament players who are in it to win it. There are prizes on the line for these people. Should know that every care has been taken to ensure that every single faction has had the equal amount of care and attention to balance their rules. Who cares about the models? At the end of the day, if you're a tournament player, you could play with pennies spray painted a different colour. Alright? But the rules need to be tight. If it ain't tight, it ain't right. And they're not. You can see that because they released their Meta Watch, and you'll see that one army is winning considerably more than another, or you'll have some army that's losing dramatically. Now I get it, you also, because some people don't play those armies, but it doesn't matter. Still, the balance isn't there. Heresy has yet to receive an FAQ. The rules. Everyone has talked about how the rules in Heresy are broken for certain units. The Thousand Sons are utterly shafted as a faction. They're not worth playing. Especially if we were to play at a competitive tournament level. Now, I know competitive tournaments are not very popular in 30k, and thank God they are not very popular in 30k. But, if they were, there is no way on God's green earth I'm taking my Thousand Sons. Because they would get curb stomped. We don't hate, we just expect Games Workshop to do better. If you disagree with me, I want you to tell me you disagree with me. If you think I'm being too harsh here, I want you to tell me I'm being too harsh here. If you think that I'm just a fat nerd who's getting his panties in a twist, I want you to tell me I'm a fat nerd getting my panties in a twist. Because maybe I am. Maybe I'm too passionate. Maybe my hyperfixation is getting the best of me. Or maybe it's that passion is what allowed this company to go from writing a note, a letter, basically, a journal, all the way up to having the largest science fiction and fantasy miniature company in the world. Because I can't get him wrong there. They certainly are. Anyone, you ask anyone in the UK, if you look at a little plastic toy like that, no one's going to say, oh, is that a wargaming? No, that's Warhammer. The word means the same thing in England. Wargaming is Warhammer. to everyone around here. I also don't like how he mentions Horus Heresy here, like version 2 was the first time it came out. That bugged me. So yeah, look, their stock prices, it was always going up, we get it. They make the best quality miniatures, allegedly. But do they? I don't know. As always, guys, pop a comment down there. Tell me I'm wrong if you think I'm wrong. Don't be afraid. I don't bite. Like just gum. I haven't got enough teeth to bite. Tell me I'm wrong. Honestly, if you guys are telling me that, you know, tell me I'm wrong. I want people to tell me I'm wrong if they think I'm wrong. Because I don't think I am. And I think a lot of us feel the same way, that Games Workshop needs to do better. I think they are well deserved with the hate they get. Right. Now you guys can also comment on all the suggested videos and how I watch things like the quartering. My name is Bando. This is Brexit Bando. I'm sorry for giving you a Wednesday evening of salt. Alright. Don't forget you can pick up your stuff from a decent web store that doesn't look like AIDS over at Element Games, and you can get double rewards using my reward points. Go down in the description. Just saying. The new website's not getting better either. You know, the rumour is that they paid £6 million for that. 6 million. That's like 4 whole boxes of Space Marines. That's insane. Alright guys, catch you later. Bye bye.